we were both, really the relatively few during COVID. I think you also started during COVID, just showing up,
Hmm.
saying the things that no one was saying. So before we even get into the details of your story, what led you to feel like I'm gonna tell my story on LinkedIn?
I think that part of it was I didn't even know that I was even looking to tell my story, truthfully. I think it was just this idea of I'm somebody that likes change. I embrace change. I felt that personally for myself, things were going to be changing career wise. The obviously a lot was going on with the world during COVID, and I was like, nothing's going to be the same again. And I felt like there was a big change within the legal profession as well. And it wasn't so much as I was trying to be an authority in that type of space, but I knew I wanted to participate in it. I wanted to be a part of some sort of conversation about what the evolution of our profession and just the common, the things that we have in common as individuals that seek out that type of profession, as well. So I think it was just kind of trying to be able to connect in a place where connection wasn't prevalent because of what was going on around us. It was just harder to do. And I had been interviewing for jobs and I had gotten a few different job offers. And I just, every time I was like, no, always finding something wrong with it.
Mhm.
So I knew I wanted to do something different. So I think I just started posting because I wanted different. If that makes, does that
Oh,
make any sense?
absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's back up. What led you to law school in the first place?
So I wanted to go to law school for probably the worst reasons, and it was the people telling me when I was younger, like, oh, you're good at arguing, you should be a lawyer. Like, I thought it would be cool to be a lawyer because it would be prestigious. I wanted to, it was something I studied poli sci in undergrad. I'd worked on the Hill before. It kind of just made sense to do that type of stuff. I didn't go to law school till I was 30. And at the time that I had, I kept putting it off or not wanting to do it. By the time I had gone through undergrad and I had gotten a master's in communication, which I really liked, and I probably lean on that even more professionally now than I than being an attorney. Honestly, even with my clients today, I just saw law school as this vast land of opportunity. Like it was such an incredible way that you can come out of law school and you can do anything. Like you can do, I mean, anybody can do anything. Okay, I'm not saying that only lawyers can do anything, but it fit my particular interest and skill set, and I was like, you know what? I bet I can go work for some place that's really really cool. I can flex my skill set if I have the ability to, and it just opened up this whole world of like different types of opportunities. So I was never somebody that shot like was like I'm not somebody that thinks that all the opportunities have to be right in front of me. I'm big into finding them yourself. I did not think that I was going to be an entrepreneur when I went to law school, but I did know that I was going to be doing something that was off the beaten path a bit. That's just me. Yeah, I just knew I would.
That's interesting. So, because you post about kind of having a windy road, was that
Hmm.
actually somewhat comfortable for you while it was happening? Even or were you like yeah, I know this is who I am, but I'm totally panicked. How did you feel about
No, 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 no. It was very comfortable. It was the only way I've known. So I was going to say
that?
that it was. Um, I don't really know any other I don't know any other way, but also it was I've never fit into the traditional box because I've never been the student that has garnered that much attention, I guess. I don't know. I was a B student. I struggled with standardized test scores, all of those different types of things. So I never thought that like nobody was going to be banging down my door, for a particular thing to do. And also, I knew that. So as a result, I was forced to kind of put myself out there more, than maybe somebody would that has like great opportunities, amazing connections right away. And I just felt comfortable in that space. Again, I feel comfortable creating opportunities, and I like it's something that I do for myself. And then over the years, I've helped a lot of students do those types of things, as well. So the winding path, I got to be honest with you. One, I would have it no other way. And two, one of my favorite things to do is craft a narrative around it. Like you think it looks like it's winding and all over the place, and it is to an extent, but there's a method to it as well. There's things that I can pull from to say, look at the patterns here about how these different types of things are interrelated somehow.